Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending today's webinar on connecting with web searchers. I'm Cheryl Knurlberger, and I'm a Senior Account Executive here at Lkcs. And I hope to bring you some valuable information today about the challenges and importance of being able to connect with web searchers. Before we get started, I just want to let everyone know that this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel later today or tomorrow, and we will email you a link to let you know when that's available and how to get to it. Oops. For those of you who may not know, Lkcs is a full-service marketing company doing business since 1961, and we offer a variety of services, including, but not limited to, integrated marketing opportunities within your statements and e-statements, marketing automation, direct mail campaigns, and of course, our full suite of digital marketing services, which we'll be talking a little about today, of course, and because it seems to be that trying to find or create a quality digital marketing strategy continues to be a priority for a lot of financial institutions and businesses. So whether you handle your digital marketing in-house or are looking to outsource it, I hope you take away at least something from this webinar today. I've been in marketing for over 28 years, and I, as well as some of you, may remember when connecting with your business, connecting your business to consumers was usually as easy as a sign on a brick and mortar store and some category listings and maybe an ad in the yellow pages. Well, obviously, those days are over. You still have a sign on a brick and mortar store, but almost every business also has at least one other storefront, and that's their website. And as for potential customers, now they spend more time looking down rather than around and are harder to reach. We're all web searchers now, and your website needs to be your best salesperson. So you feel that you have the best website you've ever had. It's informative, user-friendly, fast, has all the bells and whistles you could find at the time you built it, and it looks great. And now they will come, right? Well, there's still something missing, and that's the traffic. Web searchers aren't seeing your wonderful website unless they're searching directly for you by name. Your amazing website is floating around out there in the World Wide Web, which we all know is a massive network of web addresses, IP addresses, and business networks. Your website is one shiny little star among millions in the galaxy. What do you think the chances are that your website will be the center of interest over any of the other stars in the galaxy? It takes more than building and launching an amazing quality website. And to see the traffic and lead conversions from your investment, you need to promote it. You need to help it get discovered by those web searchers. Now, it does start with your website. It does need to have certain qualities. As I said a few minutes ago, it needs to be informative, user-friendly, fast, and at least some bells and whistles, if not all of them. But without basic search engine optimization, or SEO, and local listings and review generation strategies in place, your site may appear lower in search results and possibly so low that it may never be found. So really, it's after your site goes live that the work begins. So why SEO? For those of you who may not already know, SEO is how you improve your search engine rankings organically. SEO is relatively inexpensive, and I say relatively because you may not have the time or maybe even the knowledge to handle your SEO in-house. So it may cost you some money to pay someone to stay on top of your ongoing SEO strategy. but the payoff will most likely be considerable in terms of your brand's benefit to the bottom line. So your climb in the rankings should only get better with the more attention it gets, which is why it needs to be considered a long-term ongoing strategy. The market's going to evolve, consumers will evolve, and search engines like Google are always changing their algorithm to make sure their customers are always getting the information they are looking for in the fewest clicks possible. Organic search results are a critical component of a consumer's journey in the buyer's funnel. So just think about the last time you were going to buy something and you may not have been real familiar with it. It almost always begins with research of the product or service and then a search for where to buy it. It's in that moment, it is at that moment how you rank in the search engine results page becomes critical in order to even have a chance to engage or convert potential customers through your website. So according to 2022 data from firstpage.com, and I apologize if this isn't the clearest graphic, but do you see the first green block arrow there? That is pointing to the organic ranking in the number one position. That position generates a click-through ratio, or CTR, of 39.6%. Now that's more than double the click-through ratio for the number two position, which is at 18.4%. And then nearly 4 times the click-through ratio of the third position, which is at 10.1%. And you can see that all 3 of the strong organic rankings in the green run circles around the paid ads click-through ratio, in the blue, which at the top paid position only generates a 2.1% click-through ratio. And that's only because web searchers are simply less willing to click on advertisements because they know that space has been bought. So when it comes to developing and implementing a strategy for SEO, you do have some options. It is something you can put the hours into yourself, as long as you have the time and the knowledge. You can make a bigger investment and add someone with the SEO knowledge full-time to your payroll. You can always add it to the list of responsibilities your marketing department handles, but chances are something else will suffer because of the added task, and or your SEO won't really get the time or the expertise that it needs. Or you can contract with an experienced partner to do it for you, such as someone like Lkcs. So why would you consider Lkcs? Well, experience is probably the number one. We do have a track record of providing our clients with high quality SEO that always finds a way of discovering and leveraging new opportunities for our client's brand and services or products to be discovered. Contracting with Lkcs to stay on top of your ongoing SEO is the most cost-effective option when you really take into consideration the true cost of the other options that I mentioned earlier. Lkcs specializes in financial institutions, so we already have a good general knowledge base and understanding. And probably the biggest thing is because the search engines are really in charge. The organic search opportunities and changes will always arise, so SEO strategies must adapt as new avenues are constantly opening up. And this presents an ongoing challenge to anyone who may not specialize in SEO. At Lkcs, we obviously will stay on top of those changes and continuously optimize the SEO for you. So how would a partnership work, and what should you expect? Each SEO project with Lkcs starts with a discussion of what your goals and expectations are. And then we help you prioritize the products and services you want to be known for. Understanding all of this then helps us define where we need to concentrate our initial efforts and then the ongoing strategy. We then move into the research stage, and this is quite a bit of research that's done because we need to get a benchmark for what your SEO problems your site has, content issues, and then finding out what your current keyword positions are. Once we can see that, we get the proper tracking set up so we can gather analytics and then develop a 3 to 6 month strategy based on these findings. Now, the 3 to 6 month strategy doesn't happen instantly. It happens in stages, and it may include, in addition to many other strategies, looking at your page titles and meta descriptions, basic on-page SEO for existing content, identifying pages which need new content and budget time to create content, developing a blog post content strategy, creating location landing pages for each branch, creating a strategy for keyword location landing pages as needed, and then budgeting time for content for these pages. Then every 3 to 6 months, we go through the process again so we can see how things have changed and what the next set of months needs to look like. We also provide you with quarterly reporting that your account representative will send to you with a follow-up to find out about any changes on your end that may affect the current strategy we have in place. So we're going to take a little peek at some reports here and what we offer. These quarterly reports will consist of several pages. This one would be organic traffic reviews. These will obviously be some numbers to watch. You'll see unique as well as overall visits, pages per visit, and the average amount of time spent on your site. Plus, the top search engines, which, no surprise, it's usually always Google, Bing coming in second. And device breakdowns. And depending on the size of your market or the number of locations you have, which city had the most visitors to your site. Then we go into breaking that down into the top search engines and what results that came from those specific search engines. And like I said, Google usually being number one, we break down the same type of information as you saw on the overall results page across the top. But then we also include top page visits and traffic comparison to previous months. Then we do the same thing for the second search engine, which is, like I said, typically Bing. But then we go into breaking down the performance of your Google My Business listings, including actions taken, visiting your website, map directions or phone calls, and then also phone call patterns. If you have multiple branches, we give you search results for your top ones and also summarize your average ratings for each of your branches through Google My Business. And finally, and probably most important, is a summary of keyword rankings. As time goes on, the priority keywords that we determined or with you in the strategy planning to be the areas you want to be known for will be the ones ranking in the first through third levels or ranking levels. So another component that kind of works hand in hand with good SEO that you should consider is local listings and online reviews. Having the correct information, location information, especially online, has a big impact on your SEO. Now we're going to jump back to the yellow pages a little bit. In those days, accurate information in the yellow pages increased foot traffic and phone calls to your business. Today, accurate information online will increase website visits, which not only increases engagement and business, but obviously your organic listings. And it all kind of falls back to the Google goal, is what I call it. They became the #1 search engine because their focus early on was, and continues to be, to get quality search results for their customers, for their searchers, in the least number of steps or clicks. If you have an accurate branch or business information out on the web, Google won't show your listing because that could result in a bad user experience for their customers, for their searchers. So inaccurate information floating around on the internet or internet on directories will have an impact on your ranking in search results. So when the yellow pages printed your listings incorrectly, you were stuck with it for an entire year until the next book came out. Thankfully, with proper local listings management, you can begin the process of correcting your online information now, and which you should do as soon as possible, because 82% of mobile consumers conduct a near me search on Google or other search engines when determining where they need to go. So what kind of information is out there and where is it? Well, these listings will feature your business name, address, and phone number for sure. But they can also include each location's hours, products and services, reviews, building images, and other metadata. And they can be found on hundreds of sites, including business directories, social media platforms, review sites, and more. It's important to claim and manage as many of these as possible. But it's easiest to start with the most popular ones, such as Google Business Profile, Facebook, Yelp, and any directories that might be tied to your industry. But again, who has the time? None of us have enough time. So to constantly try and manually monitor these listings can be very time-consuming, difficult, and overwhelming. But it is important because it will increase website visits and those organic rankings. So LKCS, Business Citation Listing Service, finds and updates your branch or business listings on several dozen leading business listing sites. We provide metrics to show your local search activity, leverages direct API integrations with over 40 business listing directories, including Google Maps, Yelp, Yellow Pages, Bing, and Facebook, and submit manual updates to hundreds of other local listing sites. And this is an ongoing process because your information may change and there are always new business listing sites and directories popping up that need to be monitored. And one thing is if you are curious about what inaccurate business listings might be floating around online for your company, we can do a free business listing scan for you to show you that on websites that are frequently indexed by search engines. And this is no obligation. Just reach out to myself or your LKCS account representative, and we'll get that done for you. And finally, one last but important component to the organic rankings formula is online reviews. As part of your business citation listing service, you also get a review generation tool. Now that you have claimed your business listings, you can better track the reviews your customers leave. And reviews have a lot of influence. Just again, think about the last time you were researching something you wanted online. I'm sure you either read some of the reviews or at least paid attention to the overall ratings that product or business received. And as it turns out, over 81% of consumers read online reviews for businesses. 52% of 18 to 54-year-olds say they always read reviews. And when you keep in mind the Google goal, which again is getting quality results for their searchers, it shouldn't surprise you that online reviews are also a primary ranking factor. So it's important to have a steady stream of reviews, get high scores, and have reviews contain descriptive content about your specific products or services. And many businesses have adopted major marketing initiatives to attract positive online reviews, which is proven to have a dramatic effect on organic SEO. So how do you get more high-scoring reviews? Well, you simply ask for them. A customer or member who opens an account or gets a loan with you, and you know that they've had a good experience, you need to follow up by asking them for a review. And with the Lkcs review generation tool, we can enable your staff to send these invitations on their own via email or text message. Or alternatively, we can send these invitations on your behalf from supplying us with contact information. And then you'll be inviting happy members and customers to write good things about your business and their experience and post their reviews online through Google, Facebook, Yelp, and your website with just the click of a button. But just remember, and this is what everybody's always afraid of, is that it is possible to get unsolicited reviews that may not be positive. Our review platform can alert you of this review because it does matter how you manage both positive and negative reviews. So you need to be notified if someone does post a negative review also. You always respond to your customers or members' positive and negative reviews. And this is something that you will have to do yourself, not Lkcs, because it's something that you, the business, you have to handle. So, but however, we do have a few tips that we can give you for responding. Of course, first of all, you want to thank them for their response, regardless of whether the review is positive or negative. Acknowledge their concerns or comments. If it is complimentary toward your company's service, mention how important customer satisfaction is to you. If they had a poor experience, apologize and suggest a way to resolve the issue. And of course, we provide you with reporting every 90 days on your local listings and review generation. First, we provide you with an overview, which includes metrics such as active listings, websites synced, duplicates found, impressions breakdown, and customer actions. Okay, whether they visited your website, looked at map directions, or made a phone call. Impressions and search data, which is broken down into branches, or at least your top branches, depending on how many you have. We give you a more detailed look at customer actions, again, broken down by branch. And we also include a review summary on this page, including how many new reviews you acquired in the past 90 days. And again, phone call data. So, do you think you're connecting with web searchers? What does your SEO strategy look like? Do you even have one? How do you rank for the products or services you want to be known for? I encourage all of you to take a little time and do some near me searches for the products and services you want your financial institution or business to be known for. And when you do that, do it right from where you're sitting right now, such as mortgage lenders near me, auto lenders near me, credit unions or bank near me. And like I said, right there, do it from where you're sitting right now. If you're in branch, do it from home tonight, do it from the grocery store parking lot. And this will tell you how well you're ranking organically. So I hope this has given you some useful information to help you review and develop a continuing strategy for SEO, and which will hopefully include local listings and reviews. And if you have any additional questions about anything I discussed in today's webinar, here's my contact information to call or email me. Or if you'd like to learn more about these LKCS services or one of our others, again, please reach out to myself or any other LKCS account representative, and we would be happy to talk about your specific needs. So with that, thank you for attending today's webinar, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.